There are countless words and expressions invented or popularised in America that we Brits and others have imported over the years, from movie and rock and roll to Ground Zero, Do the Math, and well, YouTube. Then there are pronunciations that have shifted or are shifting to the American pattern, like two-syllable mayor and final stress on debris. When I wrote my book English After RP, I couldn't not have a chapter on the special relationship with America, and America gets more references in the index than anything else. I think it's more unusual for grammar, the structure of the language, to be influenced in this way, and today I want to look at how a couple of grammatical features are changing here, and the role played in this by places like where I am right now, YouTube. This video is a bit delayed because I managed to synchronise moving house with starting my Patreon, thank you so much by the way to my patrons, and publishing the second edition of my Smart Speech in ebook and paperback format. I hope some of you find it useful. It's a distillation of pronunciation techniques that I've found effective, and it's even shorter than English After RP. I try to be punchy and concise, and in writing and reading I've always preferred points to be made effectively rather than interminably. I've never been able to absorb books at lightning speed, and I've always been a bit stressed out by those piles of books I want to read but will never have the time to get through. And that's why I was already an enthusiastic subscriber to Blinkist before they offered to sponsor this video. It's a curated library of thousands of non-fiction titles covering subjects from language and history to science, philosophy and a lot more. The team at Blinkist take the originals, find the key ideas and distill them into what they call blinks of about 15 minutes. After years of FOMO, I'm now more like a kid in a sweet shop. Blinkist of course isn't intended as a replacement for whole books. You could use it as a guide for making book choices. But I really like the blinks themselves and the care that goes into the audio experience. I loved reacquainting myself with David Crystal's How Language Works.
The human eye has not evolved to process written language in the same way that the human ear has adapted itself to speech.
Preparing this video, I was grateful to Blinkist for suggesting Because Internet by Gretchen McCulloch.
Another custom unique to the internet is using capitals either for, and you'll have to imagine I'm speaking in all caps, emphasis, or to communicate that you're shouting.
To see if you like Blinkist as much as I do, you can click the link in the description to start a 7-day free trial and get 25% off Blinkist Premium, which even gives you 2 memberships for the price of 1. And back to YouTube, where I was delighted to be told that my video on weak forms had got 1 million views. Sorry, had gotten 1 million views. For me, seeing this message was a reminder that YouTube is American, because you're not very likely to see the past participle gotten in an official British announcement. In fact, my grammar doesn't have the word at all, and most Brits of my age would probably feel the same way. For me, the only past participle of get is got, as in, I've just got this email from a friend, or in the last hour alone this video has got 1,000 views. All my life, gotten has been something I heard from Americans.
Deficits have gotten a bad rap.
I had literally gotten my crew on the same page.
The 10 toughest questions that we've gotten throughout the year.
Most Americans believe that poverty has gotten worse.
We've gotten amazing things done over the last 7 years.
They have gotten completely screwed.
And I've gotten a lot of requests for this topic over the years.
But in recent years, the word gotten has been noted increasingly coming from Brits. Back in 2019, I included it in my book's mini dictionary of words that differ from old RP. So, to get some indication of its developing acceptance in Britain, I posted a poll in the community tab here, asking my British viewers which they prefer. This video has gotten 1 million views, or this video has got 1 million views. By now the poll has got or gotten over 2,000 votes. 71% of voters prefer got, and 29%, nearly a third, gotten. A number of commenters had objections to the poll. Several, chiefly Americans I think, pointed out that has gotten and has got are both fine but mean 2 different things. This video has gotten 1 million views means your video has received 1 million views, while this video has got 1 million views means your video has 1 million views. But the poll was aimed at Brits, many of whom, like me, haven't gotten at all. For people like me, has got is ambiguous, conveying both of those meanings. The equals sign there is a bit strong because the word receive is more formal in tone than get, and so this video has received 1 million views would be a bit colder, less friendly, like this video has received a copyright claim. On the other hand, for many Americans, using has got to mean has received just sounds plain wrong. I've just got this email from a friend? Maybe not. We can certainly quibble about my poll's methodology, but that 29% figure confirmed what I suspected, that the number of Brits who now happily use the word gotten is quite substantial. Which means that the Brits who commented on the poll that we simply don't use the word here are a bit out of touch.
We've even gotten a little taste of computation.
Many places have already gotten much warmer than that.
I've never really gotten the whole art gallery thing.
Have you gotten any results yet?
Artificial intelligence hasn't gotten that good.
Some people might not have gotten the notification.
Why have humans gotten so much taller?
She's just gotten some free things from people.
She would henceforth need to learn to rein in a tendency that had clearly gotten out of hand.
He'd gotten more out of the FBI than they'd gotten out of him.
Now this isn't just adopting a trendy new word or expression like do the math. To my mind, changing the past participle of a basic everyday verb is a grammatical change. It's one that makes a new distinction and decreases the ambiguity of the existing participle got. And this has got or gotten me thinking about another grammatical Americanization, one I discussed in a blog article back in 2016. This is a tendency to use verbs in the plain past tense, where my old grey British grammar insists on the perfective with have. For example, with the words just, already and yet, my grammar wants to use verb forms like have eaten, have finished, have seen. I've just eaten. She's already finished it. Have you seen it yet? The meanings of these sentences are present relevant. They typically refer to the recent past in a way that's relevant to the present moment. So I've just eaten means that I ate recently and in a way that's relevant to now. I've just eaten, so now I don't need any more to eat. Thank you very much. And if you've just subscribed to this channel, or you've already subscribed, those statements include the meaning that you still are subscribed now. For English speakers like me, the simple past, that's forms like ate, finished, saw, has a meaning that's historic. I ate says nothing about when I ate, and it's unconnected to the present. If someone subscribed to my channel in the simple past, who knows if they still are? But all my life I've noticed Americans doing something I can't, namely using the simple past with present relevant meaning. So along with or instead of I've just eaten, she's already finished it, have you seen it yet, we get I just ate, she already finished it, or she finished it already, and did you see it yet?
Did we just waste like $80,000?
We're going to assume you already did that.
I think you already did that. You already did that.
Did we already clap?
No.
Did you already record that?
Did you already finish? We already used that joke.
Did you eat yet?
You can go from did you eat yet to did you eat?
I didn't even finish it.
Sorry.
Did you buy this friggin' book yet?
They didn't do it yet.
And guess what? Like the past participle gotten, this present relevant use of the plain past is catching on among Brits.
You just saw a hummingbird perform astonishing aerial acrobatics.
No, thank you. I already ate.
Did we just cover that?
Okay, did we just miss out on a new member or did we...
Wait, did I already say that?
What did I just do?
What did I just climb?
Now, there's a nice symmetry here. If you adopt the American use of gotten, you acquire a distinction and you decrease ambiguity. But if you adopt the American use of the plain past, you lose a distinction and increase ambiguity. I ate can be historic or present relevant. I subscribed to your channel can be historic bad news, I subscribed to your channel for a while, or present relevant good news, hey, I subscribed to your channel. Of course, neither of these features has simply taken over in British English. We saw in the poll that the majority weren't all that keen on gotten. And though it isn't particularly easy to quantify, I think Brits are a lot happier with some uses of the present relevant past than others. Brits frequently announce that something just happened. Even I do this now. Here's a recent tweet of mine. A guy in my local chip shop just asked. Of course, it would have used up 4 more precious characters to tweet that a guy in my local chip shop has just asked. Now, I don't think Brits are so comfortable using the present relevant simple past with what's called do support. That's the auxiliary verb do that we need in negatives and questions. So I just ate, sure, that's quite common here, but I didn't eat yet. Did you already eat? Probably not quite so much. In fact, some American viewers may be feeling that they'd prefer the have perfective there. And if we look back in time, Americans weren't much more keen than Brits on either of these features. Gotten is an old form used occasionally by Shakespeare. You told not how Henry VI hath lost all that which Henry V had gotten. And it was still in use in the 1700s. The Queen likewise ordered the thinnest silks that could be gotten. But then it seems to have fallen out of use, at least in standard English grammar. I checked the amazing hyperconcordance of the Victorian Literary Studies Archive, and unless I'm mistaken, gotten is entirely absent from all these British and American literary works. And I found gotten only once in the over 250,000 words of Edgar Allan Poe's short stories. That's a lie, said the metaphysician, for the wine had gotten a little into his head. As we see in this Google Ngram, it's only from the late 19th century that American publications reacquire a taste for gotten. Meanwhile in Britain, gotten lay dormant. Until the internet age. And Ngrams seem to suggest something similar for the present relevant simple past, though it isn't so straightforward to show. So how and why would features like these two catch on among Brits relatively suddenly in the 21st century? Well, of course, cause and effect in language change are always pretty conjectural. In the case of the present relevant past, one factor that I suspect played a not inconsiderable role in British acceptance was a certain advertising trope.
Dictating in Word for the web just got better. And Google Docs just got better.
And it now just got a whole lot better.
Visiting Texas state parks just got easier.
Taking the bus just got a whole lot faster.
Your quick trip to the store just got a whole lot quicker.
This trope or meme just got better, easier, sexier, etc. exploded onto the advertising scene sometime over 10 years ago, and though I'm sick to death of it, it's never gone away. Now even in America, where I assume it started, there's something semantically quirky about the phrase, which of course is what made it catchy in the first place. If a product or service is improved, it typically takes some time to be rolled out. It's semantically a bit weird to say that all the breakfasts at all the McDonald's suddenly and simultaneously started tasting better just a few minutes or hours ago. Now add to that quirkiness the present relevant plain past tense just got, and you have something that here in the UK sounded even more striking and racily American. Just got tastier has a lot more impact than has recently had its flavour improved.
Getting rid of the Z in Scrabble just got a lot easier.
Good night just got better.
Our approach to food safety just got a lot smarter.
The bright lights of the Big Apple just got a whole lot more festive.
For years now, Brits have been bombarded with this specific meme, and I suspect it's been a Trojan horse, sneaking the present relevant past into the local language. That meme actively draws attention to itself, but another more pervasive development has helped the present relevant past and gotten to cross the Atlantic. This, of course, is the internet and social media. Of course, there's the more or less conscious adoption of the linguistic behaviours of fashionable American influencers. As Gretchen McCulloch points out in Because Internet, using a meme reinforces a sense of belonging to a community. But also, both of these grammatical forms are widespread in general internet usage and announcements. Not just videos, but millions of photos and tweets and posts of all kinds are constantly getting so many likes or comments or subs. And websites and apps are constantly telling us about things that have just happened or just happened. For example, whenever I log on to Twitter, I'm told that people followed me. Now, when I first started seeing these messages, they used to trigger in my mind questions like, when were they following me and for how long? Where did they follow me to and why? Of course, Twitter's intended meaning is that these people recently decided to follow me and are still following me now. In my grammar, they've followed me. In various territories around the world, messages from the American internet giants like Amazon and Google are translated into Spanish, Japanese, etc. But in Britain, a lot of them are left in their original American form. I made this point in my blog a few days ago, and right away someone at Google emailed me to point out that they do try to Britishize. In particular, they said, YouTube sends messages with a mixture of gotten and got. This video has got so many views since it was streamed, this video hasn't gotten any views yet, etc. In fact, they said that in the UK, the got messages far outnumber the gotten, and apparently prompted by my blog, suggested that they'd try to eradicate the gotten messages. I immediately replied saying that the horse had already bolted. And there's hardly any point changing anything now, since so many Brits, especially young British YouTube users, now use gotten themselves. My point is that over recent years, young Brits have been exposed repeatedly to these features of American grammar in a way that's much more personal, much less distant than hearing them from Americans in movies or on TV. Crucially, they come with no overt marking of Americanness, as there is in American accented speech. For a young French person, it's fairly obvious that cornflakes isn't French, and that McDonald isn't a French name. But what is there to tell a British or Australian young person that cornflakes and McDonald's aren't simply domestic creations? I remember when I first learned that cosy domestic old Kellogg's cornflakes weren't a British invention, I was staggered. It was a bit like being told the truth about Santa. I think it's the same with gotten and with those strangers who followed me in the plain past tense. When Brits growing up in the internet age see such forms, there's nothing to tell them that it's from some other country. It's just part of the fabric of life.